Hello, I'm Joanne McAndrews, and this is LPAC TV. We have now reached the end of the transatlantic system. The deadline is fast approaching, and we face a general economic breakdown crisis that is spreading across the entire globe. It will continue, unless stopped by the immediate reinstatement of Franklin Roosevelt's Glass-Steagall Act and the full imposition of the American system of credit. The population senses that we are at the end of the system. They know it instinctively and are responding accordingly. Back in August of 2009, the United States witnessed the first wave of the mass strike protests breaking out across the country. Thousands of people turned out at congressional town hall meetings to protest Obama's healthcare bill, a healthcare bill designed to cut costs at the expense of human lives. As the economic collapse has worsened, these mass strike protests have shifted tone and developed accordingly. First, people were just angry and yelled at their congressmen to let them know they weren't happy. But now, the population is adopting the attitude of taking matters into their own hands, and we have seen people take to the streets all across the world. A big shift came in January of this year, with protests from Tunisia to Egypt, Libya to Bahrain, all the way to Wisconsin. People were, and still are, being pushed to the point where they can no longer stay home and turn a blind eye. Reality has caught up, and the population is sensing that this system is no longer functional. With bailout after bailout for the bankrupt financial system, and austerity measure after austerity measure to take pounds of flesh from the population, the issue of fight or die is being put squarely on the table. In May of this year, the wave of the mass strike took on new life. In Spain, the Indignados movement was a direct response to the austerity measures proposed by the IMF, EU, and ECB to deal with the so-called debt crisis. Hundreds of thousands of people in hundreds of cities across Spain took to the streets. The majority were youth. Young people who have the rest of their lives still ahead of them, that realize they do not have a future under the austerity measures imposed by the current financial system. People who realize that they cannot rely on their government to protect them, so they took to the streets knowing that they had nothing to lose. Within a week, the Spanish Indignados challenged the citizens of Greece to wake up. Shh, the Greeks are sleeping. And within weeks, the Greeks too were on the street, and they in turn were challenging other nations. Shh, the Italians are sleeping, and shh, don't wake up the French. This global mass strike is now manifesting itself again in the United States in the form of Occupy Wall Street. It began on September 17th and has continued every day with hundreds of people camped out in Zuccotti Park, renamed Liberty Plaza, near Wall Street. The group specifically references the uprisings across the Arab world as an inspiration behind what they are doing on Wall Street, and they have declared the Arab Spring method as the one they are using for their occupation. As in Spain and Greece, it is the youth of the nation that are leading this movement. Youth that are demanding a future, that have done everything they were supposed to do by society's standards, and who still cannot get ahead.
And I'm here because I'm fed up. I'm fed up with being treated like dirt by our government. I did everything that I was supposed to do. I went to school, I worked hard, and it wasn't enough.
I'm here because I'm a student and I have to drop out of college next semester because my dad just lost his job 2 months ago after being in the same company for 26 years, and he can't afford to put me in college anymore.
I was laid off Thanksgiving week. I was in the working industry for over 30 years.
I'm here to help rebuild the society in a way that serves the people and serves the dreams that I've had for this country my whole life.
You know, the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. And the solution is to get the country out of the hands of the corporations.
There's no reason anybody should go hungry, you know? There's no reason anybody should not have a place to stay at night.
I'm here because I'm a public school teacher, and I work in a very underserved population of kids, you know? And we're constantly told we need to do more with less. And it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
There are a lot of things that we could do to help people help themselves. I don't think that anybody in America wants a handout. They just want to be helped do it for themselves and have a fair shot at it. That's what the American dream is, right?
Occupy Wall Street has been making it very clear that they have had enough of Wall Street. They have had enough of unchecked speculation, enough of corporate greed, enough of the rich getting richer as everyone else starves. One of the main cries of the protest is, "We are the 99%.
Prices go up, do your wages go up? No. My wages didn't go up, but prices went up. Gas goes up, milk goes up, trains go up. How am I supposed to live? We are 99! 99! We are 99! 99! Who's free? Our street! Our street! Our street! Our street! Who's free? Our street! Our street! Love each other and protect each other! We have nothing to lose but our chains! We have nothing to lose but our chains!
Now, contrary to popular opinion, Occupy Wall Street does have a list of demands, and on the top of that list is the reinstatement of Glass-Steagall, specifically the immediate passage of Marcy Kaptur's H.R. 1489. It is no longer acceptable for Wall Street to own and operate the government of the United States, and the masses are beginning to understand that the Glass-Steagall Act must be restored in order to put the control of the nation back in the hands of the people. While there are numerous grievances being aired, Glass-Steagall is being discussed as a top priority of immediate action to be taken, and they are using slogans such as, "Reinstate the Act Glass-Steagall, it makes Wall Street games illegal." They've now occupied Wall Street for 19 days, and the momentum is only just beginning to build. Messages of solidarity are coming in from all over the country and internationally as well, but now the unions are weighing in with their support. Local 100 of the Transit Workers Union, Local 1180 of the Communication Workers of America, the United Auto Workers, the United Federation of Teachers, National Nurses United, and the list continues. Today, these union groups and Occupy Wall Street will be marching together in solidarity. This movement is also no longer being contained to New York. Many people that traveled to New York to support the movement are returning to their home cities and are beginning occupations there. Last Friday, the first General Assembly of Occupy Boston took place, with over 300 people attending. They began their occupation on Friday with 500-plus people, which grew to over 1,000 on Saturday, and already students from Boston University, Boston College, Northeastern, Tufts, and others are walking out today to Occupy Boston.
Hi, this is Jenny Gatachu reporting from Occupy Boston here in downtown Boston in the financial district with the evil eyes of State Street and the Federal Reserve staring angrily down at the camp that's out here. These people have been out here since Friday. They are camped out indefinitely, and it's a growing number, probably about 100 to 200 people with daily meetings and discussions. The key thing that's lacking right now in the discussion is the solutions to the crisis. Everybody here knows they're angry at what's going on, they're angry at what's happening in the United States, but the thing that's missing is, what do we do about it? But this is a step, what's happening here, and what we've brought to this is the discussion of Glass-Steagall as the policy initiative that needs to be ramped through right now. And there is openness and knowledge, a surprising amount of knowledge among these young people for Glass-Steagall. The other aspect to what people can give people a sense of optimism is the trans-Pacific orientation that LaRouche right now is initiating between the United States, Russia, and China. That's another aspect of optimism we can bring here. So there are plans across the city over the next week for college campuses to walk out of their campuses in solidarity. There's plans for the unions to walk in solidarity. This group here has been doing daily marches up to the State House, demanding that they be heard, and it's going to continue to grow. And the key thing that we have to do is recognize that the policies in this country are not going to be changed unless Obama is removed, and that has to be the primary discussion, along with Glass-Steagall.
This is the youth of the United States, the youth of the world, turning out en masse, demanding a future worthy of living. This mass strike ferment was created by the economic policies adopted as a decision to end the Bretton Woods system of Franklin Roosevelt. Policies designed to subvert the American system of credit, replacing it with a British-controlled monetarist system where monetary profits are put before the welfare of the people. As this post-Bretton Woods system has crumbled, the response from both the Bush and Obama administrations has been bailout after bailout at the expense of the livelihood of the population. The pain and suffering has now reached a point beyond toleration. These protests are spreading rapidly and will continue to do so. There are hundreds of Occupy Name Your Town groups springing up across the United States, and it is spreading internationally, with occupations planned for Canada, Mexico, Japan, Australia, and across Europe. All across the globe, people of varying cultural backgrounds are moving in solidarity. This is a self-feeding process gripping the entire world. The world senses the death of the transatlantic system. So let's bury it before things get uglier. In Russia, the shot across the bow has been made. Medvedev and Putin have declared their independence from the British-controlled international system of finance. They are changing the rules of the game. Instead of a world ruled by a financial elite that will kill the population for the sake of saving the banking system, Russia is ushering in a new era of mass economic development for the benefit of all. The United States must join them. We must again declare our independence from a system of oligarchy and become once again a beacon of hope and a temple of liberty. We can do this immediately. The population is ready and willing to change. In fact, they are demanding it. So what are we waiting for? Dump the British puppet Barack Obama and ram through Glass-Steagall. Don't be scared. The 99% are behind you. As one of the organizers of Occupy Boston put it, this is a fight for the soul of our nation. This is about our rights as Americans, about our rights as humans, to live lives of purpose and meaning. We have a great moment of opportunity in our hands. Let it not be wasted.